Well, the first thing to say is simply happy birthday, Leicester, and many happy returns. It's a huge pleasure to be here with you for this very, very special weekend. Leicester and the cathedral and the church here in the diocese have been very close to my heart for 25 years now, since I first became a canon theologian of the cathedral in Bishop Richard's day. So this has been an opportunity to revive some old friendships as well as to make some new ones. So thank you for your invitation, and you're welcome. So here we are at Pentecost, celebrating the birthday of the church. And what's the church for? The church exists so that the truth will be told, and so that this truth will make human beings free. If there's no truth, the church has no point. And if the truth that the church tells isn't told in such a way as to bring life to men and women, the church has failed. So what we celebrate every Pentecost is the gift of truth. Not a precious morsel of reliable information that we have discovered, but a vision that has been granted to us that has so transformed our whole world of thinking and feeling that we long to share it with everyone. And that truth is, as St. John's Gospel tells us, a word made flesh, a person. Jesus is the truth, because where Jesus is, men and women are exposed to what they truly are and what they may become in relation to the God and Father of Jesus. So, to give thanks for the history of a diocese, as for the history of any Christian congregation, is to give thanks for a history of truth-telling, for the fact that we have been brought to share a vision which has shaped our own thoughts and feelings and taught us what to fear and what to hope for. And I was specially told that I must mention the word shaped and the word God at some point in this sermon, so I've done it. We give thanks for the history of the Holy Spirit with us. The real story of the Church is not, thank God, the record of great public decisions on public occasions, the story of synods and committees, bishops or archbishops. The real story of the Church is this story, one that we never fully grasp or see. The story of how the Holy Spirit opens to us, one by one, the vision of the humanity we could grow into. And the story also of how the Holy Spirit shows us the deadness of our selfishness and sin. It's the history of a fellowship deeper than any human togetherness, where the Spirit binds us in the great pattern of giving and receiving life, the pattern whose center and source of energy is Jesus Christ. And in this history, as I've said, we never fully know who the real heroes are. Who are the people who really keep the life of the community going? The real history of the Church, which only God knows, might show us the most unlikely and unrecognized people in the central roles. The shining saints turn out to be farmers from Appleby, grannies from Braunston Park, young mums or retired miners from Colville. But tempting as it is, I'll try not to go through the whole alphabet with all the parishes. You see, I think one of the great surprises in heaven will be to find out who the people are who've done the real work. The ordinary faithful, robed in unimaginable glory, who have been set free by the truth and have just got on with it. And if the Church, not only the Church of England, but the Church of God, has a little bit of skepticism about its own hierarchy and its central administration, It's because most Christians have an inkling of this mysterious, anarchic element at the heart of things. The history of the Holy Spirit with men and women. So, the Church is going to be involved in all sorts of disciplines and processes that will help sort out truth from falsehood, so that people will be free. Quite often, the Church will be in a position of disagreeing with opposite extremes and getting bludgeoned from all sides. And quite often, too, the Church will be helped to discover the real meaning of what it is saying by listening to criticism from outside. In all of this, the Spirit is active. But there are two dangers to keep an eye on. One is the danger of forgetting that the truth is always, as you might say, Jesus-shaped. Whatever is offered to us in our cultural or our political context, whatever is offered that undermines the radical promise and the judgment of Jesus, is not of the Spirit. Whatever takes our eyes off the summons to love each other and to love God at all costs, whatever encourages us not to notice the disadvantaged and the marginal, whatever focuses our attention first and foremost on our own needs and comfort, mental, spiritual or physical, rather than on the call to conversion and discipleship with all its cost, none of this is going to have much